Deep in the heart of the jazz scene, the saxophones aren't the only things buzzing. This week, Grant Guillot takes drones in America to the Big Easy to witness what is possible with drone deliveries right now. Whether it's food or Amazon packages, consumers are ordering things online more than ever before, and they want it faster than ever before too. One company doesn't just believe drone deliveries are the future of that last mile. They're proving they're possible right now, and they're putting their money where their mouth is. Zing Drone Delivery leveraged opportunities in the wake of COVID to launch a contactless drone delivery program in 21 cities across the U.S., all while operating under Part 107. The full force of their drone delivery power will be on display thanks to New Orleans' iconic Cafe du Monde. The team will be delivering a payload of beignets across the Mississippi in front of a potential investor. The team has flown hundreds of practice missions, but when it matters, will they soar or struggle? The Zing team's plan was to perform a test flight during sunrise to make any adjustments necessary prior to the real deal. However, morning fog has nearly completely diminished visibility over the river, making a flight impossible.
Yes, so coming out to this iconic spot in New Orleans and showing people drone delivery in person, I think it's really going to enhance the public perception.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding out there about what drones can be used for and what their potential is, and how they usually don't violate people's privacy, even though that's one of the major concerns.
That's true, and now that we're up here, it's looking a little foggy. All around downtown this morning it was really foggy, but I'm hoping this clears up in the next few hours.
Let me take a look at the weather report. Looks like this fog is probably standard morning fog because the temperature is 68 with a dew point at 70, so it's within 2 degrees. I think in another 20 or so minutes the sun's going to get high enough in the sky to increase that dew point temperature spread and lift this fog.
Okay, and the one thing I'm concerned about this morning is the visual line of sight. So during this test, since this is about a 0.4 mile delivery, we'll just see with the Mavic Pro without anything on it if we can do a visual line of sight flight, and then later we'll attach the actual winch and make the full delivery.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea that we're out here early to test this because we certainly don't want to be in violation of any rules, and this will be a good opportunity to determine whether or not we need that 3 nautical mile beacon and need to do this at twilight or not.
The drone may be grounded, but the team won't let the weather set their schedule behind. The team will use this opportunity to scope out the landing site on the other side of the river. The Moonwalk section of the city's Riverwalk, located behind the iconic Cafe du Monde, will act as the launching spot for their delivery. The drone will shoot across the Mississippi to Algiers Point, a residential area of New Orleans. Although it's only half a mile across the river, the only road that will get there goes across the bridge, which creates a drive time of 15 to 20 minutes. The Zing team planned to take the ferry over to Algiers Point, but the fog has anchored the ferry to the dock, leaving only one option: driving to the other side.
So over on this side, this will be our landing location. So we're probably going to set up our overhead canopy right down there. We'll have our landing pad over here. But right now we should probably just test, now that it's a little more clear out here, we can test flying across the river, make sure we maintain that visual line of sight so that we can fly under Part 107, and check if we can do this during the day.
Yeah, it's really important that we make sure that the pilot flying the drone can maintain visual contact with the drone even on the other end.
So I guess let's go ahead and try and take off and see if we can maintain visual line of sight across this river here.
So there was a lot of fog here in the Mississippi River, so what we decided to do to not waste any time was to cross to the other side, took off a drone and did a test flight to see how long it would take to go from point A to point B.
All right, let's try and maintain this visual line of sight.
Yeah. And don't be shy to full throttle it.
Yeah, so now we're just going without the payload. Should be a little easier to fly it out there.
So are you aiming for...
Those power lines are further than, yeah.
Okay.
Just verifying. Yeah, I can see that
All right, I still have a good visual.
Yeah, you're already like almost halfway there, I believe.
Yeah, I still have visual.
I still see it too, yeah.
Yep, I see it.
I guess it might be an issue once it starts blending in with the buildings. So try to stay within the sky. So
yeah, we'll
see
stay
the
up high.
contrast of the colors.
I can see it through the FPV, and I can see.
I can still see it from here. Yeah. Are you
So
there
you're at
already?
the spot?
Yeah, I'm pretty much there.
Okay. So that took like 30 seconds to get there.
I'm looking right at Cafe Beignets. I can see the overhang. Looks like the focus is a little off because of the fog, but.
Yeah, and we'll the visual observer on this side should be scanning this entire area, just making sure that no.
See it right there.
Yeah, I can see it between the wires.
Yep, so we do have a visual on it. Now, with the FAA regulations, we can lose sight momentarily when we descend, but we have to be able to quickly reascend and regain that visual line of sight.
The winch drop off is going to be very quick, like less than 30 seconds or so.
But the night delivery, we're going to have a very clear visual with the 3 nautical mile beacons. Like that's going to be.
Also, this fog won't be a factor later.
That's true.
So we'll probably have a clearer view.
Increase the time that we didn't have it within visual line of sight.
And it's back. So how long did that video take?
The video is 3 minutes.
3 minutes there and back.
That was from before.
And that's there hovering and.
So that's versus 20 to 30 minutes.
I'd give it like a minute or 2 minutes round trip. And then what's the battery at?
Battery's 73%, but it's at 90% when I left.
Okay, so 25% round trip with no payload.
Keep in mind, when we're carrying a payload, that's going
to
increase probably by 30 to 40% of the battery consumption.
Right. And I mean, last week we did the demo delivery in St. Pete, and it was the exact same distance, 0.4 miles, and everything went really smoothly.
Right, we did like 2 deliveries. Luckily, we were able to finish the flight because 5 minutes after it started raining.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I just took a look at the weather for later tonight. You can see here on this report here, so 11 it looks like it's going to be scattered, 2,500 broken, 6,000. But another report I got from a nearby airport where it showed me that it was going to be overcast or broken, 800 with mist at 7 p.m. So if we're going to do that night delivery, we need to do it probably civil twilight would be best, but not all 3.
Okay, let's try and do it at civil twilight, and if we need to do it during the day, we'll do it
during the day.
Because now we know we can maintain visual line of sight, so let's try and do it during the day if we can.
All right, now let's get out of here.
All right.
With a successful test flight under his belt, Ian and Nace will be making a pit stop into Cafe du Monde to sit down with drone lawyer Grant Guillot.
Ian, it's good to be here with you. Obviously, we can tell from looking around that we are in the vibrant city of New Orleans in my home state, Louisiana. So we're here obviously for Zing and what you guys are doing with your amazing drone delivery. And it's fantastic because it combines my 3 greatest loves, which are Louisiana, beignets, and drone deliveries. And so with Ian, with the Zing crew, what you guys are doing in transporting beignets across the Mississippi River within the line of sight under Part 107, it's really quite remarkable. How did you guys come to choose New Orleans as the place you wanted to test out this delivery on?
So under Part 107, of course you have to fly within visual line of sight. So we were looking all over the country for places that are perfect where we can deliver from one side of a river, go to the other, and say like there's a neighborhood on that other side and there's businesses on this side, where it makes sense logistically, where drones can speed up that delivery route. So for example, today on our Uber ride over to the other delivery location over there, it took us 20 minutes to drive over there, but it only takes 2 minutes to shoot the drone across and come back.
You guys are one of the first companies that I know of who is performing deliveries under Part 107. What was the decision to go ahead and do this now instead of, pursuing a Part 135 application and waiting?
So the Part 135 is a very long and arduous process, so we want to start that process. However, we want to do what's possible right now and get our company in doing real deliveries that make sense, that people can see today. So under Part 107, the current deliveries that we can do today, I mean, this one over the river, we also have one in St. Pete. We're getting 2 really solid spots where we can do deliveries regularly under Part 107. That can help prove out to the FAA that drone delivery is possible and that it starts making sense. And we want to have Zing be the first one that people are aware of making these deliveries across the Mississippi River, across rivers anywhere, across the United States, where under Part 107, it can be done today.
And what's also really cool is you clearly picked a very touristy area. I mean, and people are gonna be able to see this. They're gonna be asking questions. Yeah. Which drone are you gonna be using today to complete delivery?
So we're actually gonna be using a DJI Mavic 2 Zoom. So the goal at Zing is to leverage existing drone technology, we build autonomous flight software and attachable hardware devices for the most common existing drones on the market. And of course, DJI holds over 92% of the Part 107 drone pilot network right now. So we're trying to leverage them as much as possible. With the Mavic 2 Zoom, it's one of the most common drones that pilots are using today. So we want to show people that yes, these little drones that are already out there can be leveraged in sort of a platform type model where those pilots can start making deliveries on our network using the same drones and technology that they already have access to and fly today.
And the thing about DJI, their products have opened up this industry for so many operators, and with that, it comes guidance and requirements from the FAA that they really would like to start seeing Part 135 operators utilize type certified drones. To my knowledge, DJI does not have a drone in the type certification process. I know there are several American manufacturers that are in that process. Is there something appealing to Zing about being able to use a homegrown product to complete these remarkable deliveries?
Definitely, and if it makes the FAA happy, if we're using an American product, like we've been talking to this company Skyfish, who does American drones, and that's going to be the key to getting us in the Part 135 beyond visual line of sight process. However, we want to leverage what's already on the market today, and like you said, DJI's built an amazing platform. They have superior technology right now, but the American drone companies like Skyfish, they're coming out with some really cool stuff right now too. Specifically Skyfish, they're coming out with an M4 and an M6 to compete with the Matrice models of DJI drones, which are the heavy lifters. And that's something we've been trying to get into as well, as some more heavy lift capacity.
And again, Ian, what was it about these messy but very delicious food items that made you pick beignets? Why beignets?
They're really lightweight. That's the main thing. The Mavic Pro can only carry a certain amount of weight. So the beignets, when I came to New Orleans previously, I picked up the bag and I was like, I felt it, and I knew immediately, like, this is something that could be delivered by drone. So that's really why we chose them. So we're gonna take one of these bags, put it right inside our Zing delivery box, and then send it across the river.
Louisiana, this is the future of food delivery.
Cheers.
It's exciting, it tastes good. All right, well, Ian, as you can see and hear, the musicians have now come out, and once New Orleans, Louisiana musicians come out and start playing, they don't stop. So let's continue this on the road. So Ian, obviously we are on the banks of the Mississippi River in New Orleans, and this is around the area where Zing will be taking off from when they deliver the beignets, right?
Yes, so right up here, we'll be taking off from around right here along this path, and then we'll be going straight over there to Algiers Point and landing right next to the Algiers terminal over there.
Okay, so around that area where that empty area ground is over there?
Exactly, there's not gonna be a lot of people out there. It's kind of a little closed off kind of area, so we'll be able to have a nice open area where we have for landing.
Tell me about, I know you're doing multiple trips, so you're doing like what, a late afternoon delivery when the sun will still be out, but then you're also doing a night delivery, right? Yeah,
so we have a night waiver for, and our night waiver is kind of unique because we can have multiple pilots under it as long as they know the rules about flying at night. We can add them to a list. So we're gonna have our pilot over here, Oward, and also Grayson, the remote pilot in command, watching over Oward, who's gonna be manipulating the flight controls, and they're both gonna be on that night waiver. So we're gonna be able to attach 2 3 nautical mile beacons to the drone, one green one on one side, one red one on the other, so we can determine the orientation of the drone as it's flying over to the other side.
And you know, it's funny, something that I'm often asked about when we're talking about delivery of breakfast foods and things is coffee delivery via drone. And I know we're not doing that today, but how amazing would that be to not have to even get out of bed, turn your coffee pot on? I mean, something delivers the coffee to your door, and you open it up and it's there.
That's what we're thinking over there is like if somebody wants Cafe du Monde in the morning and then they live in Algiers, say they have to drive somewhere for work, they can get like a coffee, a beignet delivered by drone right before they head out to work, and then they can be off. And especially in the morning time, right around dawn, that's when it's going to be the best for visual line of sight because we'll have those 2 beacons on there that'll be very visible.
It's just the possibilities are so endless, and that's not even going into, I mean, right now we're talking about food delivery and eventually hot beverage delivery, and you know, there's gonna be some safety aspects to that, but nevertheless, it should be feasible at some point. But we're in a city like New Orleans, you have to think alcohol. At some point, you know.
Oh, yeah, daiquiris over the river one day.
Amazing. You know, like at some point, you're definitely going to have interest in that. You already have interest in it, but it's, you know, in being able to actually perfect that, it will be really cool to see. You could even have a drone that throws beads.
Yeah, well, exactly. We could drop some beads around during Mardi Gras and stuff like that, but that's the main thing about this river here is like the safety aspects. It's all clear, even though it's a downtown type environment. So that's one of the really nice things about being able to do this delivery right here.
With the sun setting, the drones are ready to take center stage. The Zing team will perform their first delivery during civil twilight, with the cover of darkness allowing them to see the drone for the entirety of the operation. The flight team will be flying a Mavic 2 with added beacons to increase visibility by up to 3 miles.
So for this delivery, I'll be the remote pilot in command. Ord will be the person manipulating the controls. As our head of engineering, he's the one who has the most familiarity with our new winch system. And this will be our first official delivery using the new system beyond the tests that we've done in-house. So if we're ready to get started, I guess we're just waiting for the beignet.
Yeah, so this is the winch product. As you can see, it's powered from the drone battery and we're controlling the motor with the light sensor. And we have a hook to release the package just like that. So the whole purpose of the winch is to control the length of the wire. So when we take off, we can secure the package on the drone without having a pendulum swing. And then once we get to the destination, we can lower the package without landing the drone.
And what's really great about using the winch is it limits liability and it limits risks to those on the ground because the drone gets to stay at 15 or 20 feet. And then the drone can release the package without coming near anyone, so no kids or pets can potentially be injured by the drone.
Thank you, Grant.
Thank you.
All right, good to go.
All right, we got a hot beignet. Let's not waste any time and get it over there.
All right, we're ready to take off.
As soon as the pilot lifts off for the first flight of the night, the Zing team has its first setback. Unsure of why the drone is not communicating properly, Grayson cycles the power, hoping that a reset clears the issue. If it doesn't work, the night ends before it begins.
We're gonna cycle the power.
Okay, there we go.
All right,
Small technical difficulty. Simple reset, fix the solution.
All right, we're taking off in 10 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, I'll be the visual observer. Let's go.
All right, we're taking off.
Drone's in the air.
All right, so where are they exactly?
Straight over there, you see the there's a tent straight across from us. Just due across. Just, I'll direct you. You can head out.
All right.
You see those 2 spotlights out there?
Yeah.
Right of the 2 spotlights.
Okay.
So aim farther right.
Looks like they're going a little bit sideways, going up.
A third of the way there.
All right, got you, Grayson.
Oh, this is easy.
Okay, we have a visual.
All right, it comes slightly right. Do you see them yet on the screen?
Nope.
I have the drone in the air. I see the red beacons.
I'm about like 35 feet in the air.
All right. Yeah, is the landing pad in place?
Landing pad is in place in front of you, maybe by 10 feet.
We're looking for the landing pad. I still have it visually.
I see the landing pad.
Landing pad in sight.
Oh, wow, there you are. Oh.
I need a disseminator.
Kind of overshot it. Oops.
All right, I go straight vertical Just do your best to center it. All right, bringing it down to landing pad. Lowering package.
Don't need to descend a little bit more.
All right, you hear that, Abe? Come down a little bit.
Descend a little bit.
All right, coming down.
And
Missed it.
No, just set it down there.
I can't. Did it hit it? Did it release?
Alright, reel it back in.
A little bit more.
He said a little bit more.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right, coming back.
Beautiful.
That's a successful beignet delivery.
Excuse me?
Beignet, very good. Yes.
Mission successful.
All right, bring it down, save the battery. We're gonna do another civil twilight. We're gonna try to hit the landing pad this time. Yeah, is there a way you can light it up? We can see it, just not fantastic.
We have a whole bunch of codes set out, so hopefully you don't miss this time.
Probably about a minute from launch again.
All right, drone's taking off. All right, go lower.
All right, go aim to the right of the two lights. They have a flashlight out now.
All right, cool.
All right, heading looks good.
Is the spotlight on?
Exactly, like
No.
a baby. You a baby.
All right, there we go.
All right, have it in sight. Looks good. Halfway to you.
Make sure they flash the light on the landing pad.
Yeah, they are. Ian has a flashlight.
Okay.
You're on track right there.
Is that the light? Dude, that's not them, right? Did they see me?
How far do we have to go?
We're not seeing much light.
Move forward, straight forward. Move forward again about 20 feet forward.
Well, my spotlight would give help once I lower.
Do you have your spotlight on?
Yeah, I should.
A little further.
Yeah, I see
Yeah, your
it.
spotlight's on.
Okay.
He has the landing pad in sight.
Okay.
The pilot is lined up on target and ready to deliver the payload. But Grayson is unable to control the lighting gear while the camera is recording.
All right, bring it down.
Hold on. It's not going down.
Did you reel it up too far?
I don't know. Yeah, it's not going down.
Does
the
it
light
look like
sens-
it's caught? Are the front lights on?
Are the front lights on? Front lights are not on. Are you recording?
Yeah, is that why? Yeah, it's because I'm recording. So apparently when you record it, the front lights don't work.
Before you bring it down.
I'm bringing it down. There you go.
All right, success.
Not only was the team successful, but Zing was able to make fans out of the crowd of curious onlookers who were fascinated by the drone.
Do you guys want some beignets? Hey, do you think you guys could do us a favor? So for our last delivery of the day, we had a nice family come up with a bunch of kids, and they were really excited to see what we were doing with the drone. They're asking questions, and we were delivering a beignet from Cafe du Monde. We were able to actually go pick up a beignet on the other side and bring it back after our final delivery for them. And it's really great when we get to see that engagement from the community and just how excited all the kids were to see the drone and our technology in action. We have a family here watching, a bunch of kids. Could you attach a box with 3 beignets in it that we can bring back and give to them? All right, go ahead. There's 3 of them in there.
Ian and the team were able to complete 4 full deliveries before the evening fog began to deteriorate weather conditions.
So I'm really happy with how the delivery flights went last night. I really think the future of our drone delivery platform, enabling DJI drones and enabling everyday pilots to start making deliveries, is looking really promising. And this weekend we were able to prove that out. Overall, I'm really proud of the team for everything they put together. Owen made a great product this weekend. Overall, I'm really excited. I feel like the future of Zing is looking extremely bright.